On behalf of Livewire Jammu, I would like to thanks especially to Mr. Dinesh sir for providing such a huge opportunity to express our views on artificial intelligence. Yes, no doubt it is one of the most growing segment into the market, right? And into this session, I am going to deliver a lot of things on AI, as well as we will going to see one live case study also. Okay, from there itself you get an idea that what is the reason AI is coming as one of the most growing segment into the market, right? In between the webinar, if you find some sort of difficulties, either you can unmute, you can speak, or either you send your message over the chat window. Okay, but it's my request to you, make this session quite more interactive. Okay, so yes, the topic for this webinar is actually the team AI versus team human, right? Where I'm going to discuss a lot of things about it to make it understand what is the main difference they are having and what are the main similarities they are having. They are means team AI and team human, right? Before starting, I just want to give you a basic introduction of me and my company. My name is Sushil Soni. I'm working as a product manager in Livewire India. I'm having around 8 years of experience into the same domain, where I have completed around 800 projects in the same domain, right? These projects are belonging to Indian based companies, as well as some of the client I got from overseas also, right? We are actually the division of CAD Center. CAD Center is there into this training division from the last 30 years. CAD Center is right now operating in 30 countries with more than 1,000 centers. Where if I talk about the main division of CAD, it will going to be the Synergy, Livewire, IID, Dream Zone, and CAD Center. Where Livewire actually deals in the technical platform. Whatever technical platform we have is actually covered by the Livewire itself. Okay. This is one of the quotation I love the most, that nothing is impossible. You won't know until you try. Okay. And that's required to be for each and every Indian. If you are highly motivated, you can able to do anything. Okay. Because nothing is impossible. And that is the main reason the countries like Japan is one step ahead of India in technologies, because they face challenges, right? It's not incorrect to say that Japan is one step ahead of India. Even China is also one step ahead of India, okay? Because they actually faces the challenges. Now, whenever it comes to AI, we really need to understand how we can define it. Artificial intelligence is all about creating an intelligent machine that act and react like a human. Okay, so how a human see, how a human walk, how a human talk, and how a human analyze the thing in their mind, if the same type of functionality is done by a machine, you can say that we have designed an AI based system. Okay, please switch off your video, do not make it switch on. Right. Now, I used one term, intelligent. If a machine behave like intelligently, okay. Now it's important to understand what is intelligent. What is intelligent, right? The definition of intelligent system is given by Turing, Alan Turing. He is the scientist in 1950. He gave the definition of intelligent system. And according to the definition of intelligent system, the definition is further written as a Turing test. If this test is successfully passed by a machine, you call that machine as an intelligent machine. The first criteria will be the natural language processing. If a machine is able to interact with the human, okay, like you talk about Alexa, okay, you have seen many advertisement of Alexa. What happen normally there? You say, Alexa, please switch on the music. What will going to happen? Yes, Alexa will going to make it switch on for us. That's right. Alexa will going to make switch on for us. Whenever you are going to say Alexa switch on the music, it means we are directly integrating with machine in our language. So that is the first criteria to being an intelligent machine. The second criteria will be whatever information is shared by the human, that information is required for a machine to get stored and to get processed. So a machine should have capable to store and process the information. That will going to be the second criteria to being an intelligent machine. The third criteria is whatever information you have stored, from that information the machine is able to extract the important information. Like if I ask Alexa something, okay, Alexa will going to give me a very straightforward answer. Okay, for example, I'm going to ask what is the current time. So it's not like Alexa will going to say, sir, you have asked a very nice question, the answer of this question will going to be 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. It should not like that. Okay, whenever you ask the time, it will going to give you a straightforward answer. It will going to be 11 o'clock. It means Alexa is already having so many data, and from the data it is filtering out what is the best mix up or best possible answer for the query done by the user. That's right. So it means automated reasoning is again one more criteria to being an intelligent machine. And the last criteria is going to be the machine learning. Okay. Machine learning is all about introducing self-learning skills in a machine. Introducing self-learning skills in a machine. This learning is quite similar to the learning of human. Let me ask you one question. Okay. Yesterday you did one mistake. Yesterday you did one mistake at your home. Okay. What your parents will going to do? If you did a mistake and it's a big mistake, your parents will going to slap on your face. Your parents will going to slap on your face. Why they are slapping on your face? Because you actually did a mistake. So as you did a mistake, they will going to slap on your face. Right. Now tell me one thing. Are you going to repeat the same mistake today? Are you going to repeat the same mistake today? You can give your answer in the chat window. I already open it. Are you going to repeat the same mistake today? You have done one mistake yesterday, so your parents slap on your face. So are you going to repeat the same mistake today? Kamakshi. Okay. So the answer is no. Sharma, Siddhant, no. That's great. Abhishek, no. Yes. So absolutely, it's not a kaun banega crorepati question, which is going to be so much difficult. So the answer will going to be no. No, we are not going to repeat. Why we are not repeating? Because we learn from our experience. We learn from the experience that if we are going to repeat it again, this time they are going to give me either two slap also in place of one slap. So I'm not going to repeat it. In the same way, whenever it comes to machine learning, we talk about the self-learning skills of a machine. So that if some wrong decision will be taken by a machine, it should not repeat again. So if these four criteria is covered by a machine, you call that machine as an intelligent one. Okay. And artificial intelligence is all about intelligency in a machine. And through that intelligency, machine act and react like a human. Right. Now, tell me what it is. You can find out this is me and I'm thinking it like a bird. Now tell me, what do you feel like? It might be possible I'm correct while judging it, or it might be possible I'm incorrect. So can you tell me what else it can be? What that shape is telling you? What this shape is telling you? What do you feel like? What it is? It can be a duck, Sharma Siddhant. Hey, that's great. That's great. That's great. Anything else? Anything else? Duck, okay. Anything else? Anything else? Somebody can call it as a pigeon also, or what you can say. That is more. Oh, crow. Crow also we can say. Okay. So it means it's a category of bird itself. Okay. But in the bird we are start classifying the things. Do you know how you are able to identifying it as a crow or as a duck? Did you ever analyze how you are identifying it? You are identifying because this type of shape is already stored in your mind. That shape you compare with this image, and then you analyze that this image is matching with four different living birds. That can be duck, crow, pigeon, and anything else. That's right. So it means if you already have the image, then only you able to answer it. But let's suppose if I am going to show you something, if I am going to show you something whose image is not actually available in your mind, are you able to answer it? No, you are not able to answer it. Okay, so it means all the things are already stored in our brain by our mother, father, or our teachers. Okay, and because of that only we are able to answer it as a duck or as a pigeon or any other bird. Okay, and also I'm calling it as a bird because I also feel like that the shape is matching with the shape of a bird. Now it can be a duck, it can be a crow, it can be a pigeon, or it can be anything else. That's right. So do you feel so we human are intelligent? Yes, exactly, we are intelligent because just looking at the shape we are able to answer it. Just looking at the shape we are able to answer it. And how we are able to answer it? We have seen this particular picture from our eyes. This picture is further transmitted to our brain, and brain started making it decide what it is. Now brain come up with some solution that it can be a duck, pigeon, or crow, and finally we start analyzing which chances are going to be more. The chances of crow is less, the chances of pigeon is less, and yes, mostly I can identify it can be a duck because this shape is exactly or maximum matching with the shape of a duck. That's right, so I'll call it as a duck. So yes, I'm intelligent. I'm intelligent because I'm fulfilling all these requirements. Now whenever it comes to a machine, how machine will going to do the same work? The work which is done by the human, the same work is possible to get done by a machine itself. If a machine is able to do that, you say you have designed an AI system over here. That's right. So you can find out I am having one camera over here. What that camera is actually doing, that camera is taking the image of this particular bird or whatever it is. This image is captured by it and it will get transmitted to the computer. This computer is already having so many data associated with it. This computer already have the idea about it. So whatever image is captured by the camera, that will get compared with the other data, and finally this computer will going to say, okay sir, this is a duck. So it means in the same way as a human is working to answer it, in the same way machine is working here to answer it like a bird or something else. That's right. So yes, if I'm able to have this type of strategy to answer it like a bird or a duck, I can say that yes, we are able to design an intelligent machine. That's right. And without this data, if I'm not having this data with my machine, this machine is called as a dumb piece of hardware. Without human instructions, machines are called as dumb piece of hardware. But if you give this all data to the machine, now machine is highly intelligent. Right. Now it's quite important to understand. I just explained you what is AI. Now it's important to understand why it's a good idea to go for artificial intelligence. Okay. Whenever we talk about the market scenario, we can find out that whenever we compare a human performance with a machine performance, this red line is the human performance and this blue line is actually the machine performance. We can find out in the y-axis we have the accuracy and in the x-axis we have different years. We find out previously the accuracy of the machine in 2010 was below 80%. So we cannot trust on a machine. We cannot trust on a machine because we know that the chances of accurately doing a work is very less. But with time, this accuracy start increasing because more and more development in the technical segment start happening. And one time actually get reached when the accuracy given by these AI system is higher than the accuracy given by the humans. And that is the only time when people start feeling that yes, it's better to use AI system in place of humans because that systems are giving more accuracy than the humans are giving. Okay. Now I am going to tell you the impact of the market. Trust me, you will get surprised when you find out that there is a huge impact of AI on market. Right. So I'm just going to discuss the most 12 developing countries into the market. Okay. And I can find out the countries are like United States, England, and many more into the list, Japan and many more. Now you can find out in the x-axis we have years, and in the years we have two dot point. One is this dark dot, second is the cross. This dark dot is indicating the development in United States of America without artificial intelligence will going to happen in 2060. If US is not going to use artificial intelligence, the development in US will going to happen in 2060. But United States of America, if we start using AI, the same development they are able to attain in 2040 also. It means the development which will going to happen after 20 years in a particular country, that is possible to get attained before 20 years. So you find it out how much the countries are going to develop because of this AI. Similarly, there are so many countries where the development is going to happen before 100 years. That's right. And nowadays each and every country, organization is paying a lot of money for the development purpose only. Okay. I think you have heard about the Tesla company. The founder of the Tesla is now the richest one. Do you know why he is actually the richest one? Because he always take very advanced decision. You just go through the biography of that person. You can find out that whatever decision were taken by the founder of Tesla, they have taken it in a way that the other person who is thinking right now, that person is thinking for the future scenarios. And according to the future scenarios, the founder of Tesla start introducing the things. That's right. Now one more particular trend I am having, which is going to make you understand the impact of artificial intelligence on market. Okay, and this particular trend is indicating that as the time is passing, more and more revenue generated from AI. Like if I talk about in 2016, the revenue is just $1,000 million, $1,000 million, and just in 9 years, this revenue will going to reach to $59,000 million. Okay, so 59,000 million US dollar. This is absolutely saying that a huge development is happening into the market. And one more interesting thing I'll tell you about it. I think you have heard in the newspaper that after every few years there will be a downgrade in every technology. But you find out, you will get surprised when you find out that in AI, the development is still progressing. It's not like that there will be a downgrade in this technology. No, there is no downgrade. Every year it is increasing, and this increase is completely exponent. It is not even linear, it is exponent. It's an exponent increase, and this really matters. Okay, so here you have find out the impact on the market. Now let me discuss which are the different domains where artificial intelligence is utilized at a larger scale. The first application is going to be the vehicles. Okay, vehicle is one of the application which peoples are loving a lot. This is one of the segment which peoples are loving a lot. Okay, where we have the two major segment, that is driverless car, a car without a driver, and blind spot detection, that is reaching to a place where human cannot reach. Okay, where human cannot reach. Okay, or you can say if we are going to make a human to reach there, it will be a dangerous for them. That's right. I'm going to ask you one question over here. Few months back, there was a mission, that is Chandrayaan 2. Do you know why Chandrayaan 2 mission got failed? Do you have any idea about it? There was a mission, that is Chandrayaan 2. Do you have any idea why that mission got failed? Any idea which technology get failed at the last? Just an idea I'm asking. Which technology got failed at the last? Why that mission got failed? Any idea? I'm discussing it because I really needs to discuss about the blind spot detection. Because AI do not able to calculate the lending and speed of itself. Yes, exactly. You are absolutely correct to say that, Sanchit. That's great. It has actually happened because of AI. Okay, because what happened that previously they were controlling the movement of the rover automatically. Okay, but and sorry, not automatically but manually they are controlling it. But at the time of landing, they do not know the surface of that moon where the rover will going to land. So what they did, they switch the manual efforts into automatic efforts. Okay, and in the automatic efforts they give the efforts completely to the AI system. Now yes, AI system will be there which is doing the next work over there. That's right. Now as we have switched the complete controlling on the AI system to land it. Okay, to make it land. Okay, why we are switching it on the AI? Because in that particular rover no human is there. Okay, so at the end we find it out that that AI system got failed and the landing did not happen successfully. As the landing did not happen successfully, the mission got failed. That's right. That is the main reason behind it. Now think over it, that at that moment we switch the complete scenario on AI and we find out the mission got failed and we get a huge loss. I think 900 crore. rupees is the loss government have suffered from that mission. That's right. But, but, one thing good happened there, that we have not sent any human. We have not sent any human because at that moment, if the mission got failed, you think over it. We have to think over the life of a human there. Okay, so that's why blind spot detection is one of the application where we can use AI machines or AI system without human involvement. I'm going to give you some realistic example here. In India, there are two big or giant companies of automobile segment, that is Volkswagen and Volvo. These two companies have already invested so many money to design self-driving car in India, as well as Tesla. I was actually discussing about it. Tesla Autopilot. Tesla Autopilot, this is the interior view of Tesla car. Tesla is a self-driving car, the car without a driver. That's right. And this is an example of driverless car. Okay. And yes, this complete car is going to be a big application of AI. The second application of AI will going to be the security. Okay. The very basic example, if you really wants to see, is going to be the facial recognition system in your mobile phones. Whenever you put a facial recognition system in your mobile phone, and whenever you show your face, your mobile gets unlocked. Your mobile gets unlocked. And that is again the application of AI. Okay. Similarly, if I'm going to talk about one more live application, the Punjab government in India, they have used AI system for detecting a drug dealer from a group of people. So the group of people they scanned, and after scanning the group of people, they find it out one drug dealer out of it. Okay, this is a realistic application Punjab government have executed few months back. The next application will going to be the education. If I talk about the utilization of artificial intelligence in education, this is a very exciting domain. Okay, because people do not think over it, and that is the very big issue so many education department are facing. So many education department are facing. That is, in case of education, AI is utilized for developing the skills and for making better testing system. Okay, because many of the organizations and universities and colleges are there in India, they do not think that when and why it's a correct time to change the syllabus and the teaching methodology. Okay, and because of that all reason, they start getting downfall. Okay, so that's why in India many universities are there, including Munjal University. They have collaborated with Microsoft company to utilize AI in their education segment. Okay, and yes, they are utilizing it for developing the skills for giving the better testing system to the student. The next, and again a very promising thing into the market, is the robotics. AI for robotics. In case of robotics, I think you have heard Sophia robot. Okay, Sophia robot. This robot is capable of answering all the queries you have. Okay. Similarly, you have seen some robots at the time of COVID-19 also. That so many hospitals are there which are using the robots to serve the patients in the hospitals. To serve the patient in the hospital. Similarly, if I'm going to talk one more realistic example, it will be the Momo restaurant Chennai. This restaurant have AI robots as a waiter. So no human waiters are there to serve the customer in that hotel or in that restaurant. Now, let me talk about the demands, market demands and job type. If I am going to talk about that, How many different segments are there where a person can work? Yes, there are so many segments. If I talk about artificial intelligence, Python is going to be the very crucial programming platform. Okay. Yes, you require the Python programming depth level of understanding if you really wants to go for the for the artificial intelligence project development, because AI is only a concept. Now, how you are going to fulfill that concept into reality, that is done by the programming. Okay, so Python programming is going to be the very crucial part where we request to have an understanding in many of the domains into it. Okay, so from basic to some advanced level of programming is required in case of AI. Okay, the second segment where a person can work will be the algorithm development segment. Third one will going to be the deep learning architect. Next will going to be the AI engineer, NLP engineer, and computer vision developer. So these are some of the highly available jobs on AI into the market, right? Now let me talk about some of the openings into the market. There are so many companies, okay, which are looking for AI related stuff, like the Square Panda India. It's looking for AI lead in their Mumbai Maharashtra division. AI ML solution architect, it is in New Delhi, and it is looking for AI architect. Siemens Technology, it's a giant company for their Bengaluru. They are looking for AI developer. Nvidia, Nvidia is a graphical company and it designed the graphics. And nowadays, AI based graphics are getting developed. Okay, so yes, they are actually developing it, and for the same reason they require AI developer technical engineer into their Pune location. Novartis, Telangana, Azure ML and AI architect. Mesh in Gurugram location, the profile will going to be the NLP engineer. Amazon, Hyderabad, AI solution architect. So these are some of the companies with the profile. Right. Now, this is one of the article I have taken from the Times of India. And according to this article, you know that many nowadays it is quite common. I'm not going to say it is at the hike as we were having few months back. But if I talk about the COVID-19, okay, it was a big issue for every country in this world. That's right. It was a big issue. Right now, also, it's a big issue. I'm not going to say. But as we already have the medicine for it, okay, vaccine for it, so we are okay with it. That's right. Now, people are not that much worried about it. But when this COVID 19 actually come, what happened at that moment? You find out that government is so much struggling to control this COVID-19. Okay, and you find out that many places they start getting fail. Okay, and even you find out that whenever it comes to have the testing of COVID-19, you know that the cost of the kit of COVID-19 is 2400 Indian rupees. 2400 Indian rupees, right? And you know how much time it takes? It takes minimum 2 hours to find out whether a particular patient is having COVID-19 or not. Whether a particular patient is having COVID-19 or not. So for that, it is taking 2 hours, and the costing is quite higher. That is 2400 rupees, right? But at the same time, one giant company of the market, that is Alibaba Group. This Alibaba Group have developed an AI system which can detect coronavirus in just second, and the accuracy is going to be quite effective. That is 96% accuracy. So this 96% accuracy, I'm going to say it's a big value, and up to this accuracy is actually achieved by this application developed by the Alibaba Group. This is one more article which is taken from the Independent Time. This is actually the local newspaper of New York. And according to this particular newspaper, normally whatever is there in your brain is going to be the secret. Okay. Nobody is able to find it out what is happening in your brain. But nowadays it is not that much true because one AI based system is already developed which will going to translate whatever things is available into your brain in the form of thoughts, in the form of text, sorry. So whatever is there in your brain, this AI system is able to convert it in the format of text. So if I'm going to think something, that thinking will going to get transmitted in the format of text. Right. Now I'm going to talk about some of the tools and the libraries. We have some programming tools which we can use for the artificial intelligence and some of the libraries. The programming tool will going to be the Python, and there are so many libraries associated with it. These libraries are the strongest point of utilizing Python. Okay, so it's not about if you have an understanding of basic Python, you can directly go to AI. It's all about you have the working concept on the packages like Keras, TensorFlow, Theano, Matplotlib, Pandas, XLRD, Random, RE, NumPy, NLTK, pre-processing, datetime, scikit-learn, and so on. And there are so many into the list, right? Now, if I'm going to talk about the projects are like driverless car, Google road maps, like you have seen that right now the Google Maps are completely dynamic. Learning autonomous Uber cabs, that is how, and this project is already going on with the collaboration of Google. So Google have already taken this project from Uber, and yes, very soon you can find out there will be a driverless cab. Okay, a cab without a driver. Banking fraud predictive model, that is how we are able to identifying the frauds related to the cards. Banking customer handling predictive model, insurance fraud predictive model, driver drowsiness system which will going to detect whether a person is feeling sleepy or not, people counting robot to count that how many peoples are there, okay, in front of something. This type of projects we can use in so many application. Okay, counseling taking robot to to take the counseling if somebody comes. Normally this is done by a counselor in each and every company. Okay, but it is possible to make it switch to the AI based robots also. Predictive model for stock market, video making processing, image segmentation, creating the personal chatbot like Alexa, Google Assistant, sentimental analysis just to find out if some movie is coming into the market, what is the rating of that movie. You find out whenever we plan for a movie, we first see the ratings of it, and after seeing the rating we will going to see that Python game creating, and yes, the cancer detection. This cancer detection is the case study which I am going to explain after a few slides. The very next will be the practicing content, where it is like going with the movies data set, fault detection in induction motor, it's an electrical segment project, image transformation, weather forecasting, suicide rate models, glass classification, NLP on Machado, text mining, external peripheral and sensor interfacing with your Raspberry Pi, that is hardware interfacing also, predictive model on death rates, and so on. That's right. These are the particular practicing content, and the last which I discuss are the projects on artificial intelligence which covered by us. Now I am going to discuss one cancer detection project. Okay, this project is actually on an application which is designing or defining that how artificial intelligence is utilized to identifying whether a person or patient is having cancer or not. Okay, so the best thing about this particular project is it will going to say that yes, the patient is having cancer or the patient is not having the cancer. Before starting it, I want to discuss few things here. The few thing is whenever it comes to detecting the cancer, how doctors actually detect. The cancer detection is done by the benign, in situ, invasive. These are the three parameters through which a doctor find out whether a patient is having cancer or not. If the tissue positions are going to be normal, the image will going to be something like this. So these both are for the normal cases. Okay, this is invasive, that there is a chance of cancer, there is a chance of cancer, there is a chance of cancer, there is a chance of cancer. So it means we have so many images. The best thing about it is the size of the image. You find out we are processing 18 MB of image. So it's a high definition image. Whenever we will going to process that image, just in a fraction of second only, it will going to answer it whether a patient is having that parameter as higher or lower. That's right. So it's a very small program for answering it, just 140 line of program it is. Okay. And just in 140 line, you are able to answer it. That's right. And what we needs to do is we needs to process these images. And according to the processing of the images, it's absolutely very easy to identify that. Okay. So what we are trying to do is we will going to take the image. Let's suppose I'm taking invasive. So I'm taking invasive and I'm just making it load. Now you just go into the programming to find out whether my system is able to predict whether the invasive is more or not. Yes, you find out whenever I take invasive, my system is easily identifying that the other parameters are going to be 17, 17, 17, 17, but the invasive is coming to be 47. Invasive 47 and other parameters as a common means that for that particular image, invasive is going to be more. Similarly, if you execute or re-execute that program, and this time if I'm going to take the normal situation, that there is a patient who is not having any cancer and all. So I open that normal situation right away. In that normal situation, you can find out the normal is coming to be higher and rest of the parameter is coming to be 17. So do you feel so my AI system is more than intelligent to answer this? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why if I talk about so many application or segment into the market, AI works quite very well here. Right. If you have anything to ask, you please ask. Otherwise, I'll continue with the next thing. Hey, it's important to ask as many as question so that you get the clarity about everything. It's quite important to have the clarity about the topics, right? So in between, if you find any difficulties, you can ask. Okay, that will be super fine. Now I am going to talk about some of the real-time implementation of market. Microsoft, it's a giant company. They have developed a human hologram. That human hologram they have developed on machine learning, AI, and neural networks. Amazon, they have created the personal assistant that is Alexa. Apple, this company have developed or they have developed one startup. They have created one startup which is completely working on AI based cameras because they needs to increase the costing of the other versions of the Apple which is going to launch. DJI is a Chinese company and this company create drones and now they are creating the drones with AI technology. High Silicon is a chip manufacturing company. They have developed one chip named as KIRIN 980 and this chip contain AI, artificial intelligence. NVIDIA, deep learning and GPU development, that is the real-time implementation they have. Google, they have the machines that can dream. Now let me talk about some of the future scope of AI. Whenever it comes to the future scope, it's important to understand where the things will going to go. So the first future scope will going to be the music compose. The first scope will going to be the music compose. This particular project is already done by Japan, and Japan have used artificial intelligence for composing a music. Okay, cyber security, the integration of artificial intelligence with the cyber security using recurrent neural network, using recurrent neural network. So this is again one more future scope of the same. Okay, the next future scope will going to be the face recognition. Face recognition we already have into the market. Okay, we already have that segment into the market, but now we are not going into the physical part, but emotional analysis is also going to get introduced into the market. The next future scope will going to be the data analysis, that is targeting the right audience, targeting the right audience. That is, we will going to do some analysis to identify that which audience is best to use. The next one will going to be the reinforcement learning. You know that right now we have driverless car into the market, and very soon we will going to get the driverless cab also. Whenever it comes to driverless cab, the concept is not that easy as we have in case of driverless car. There we need to utilize some more advanced strategy, that is on the basis of reward and punishment. Okay, so on the basis of reward and punishment, my machine will going to learn. Okay, and trust me, till 2022 this scenario will going to be there into the market, and after this scenario one advanced reinforcement learning will going to introduce after 2022, and this advanced scenario will remain there into the market till 2030. Okay, so reward and punishment based projects are going to get utilized very soon into the market, where one example I already give, that is the autonomous cab. Right now it's important to understand the approach of going through this AI system. The approach will going to start with the Python. Yes, you require the knowledge of Python. It's not about the basic Python, and even it's not about the advanced Python. It's about the concepts which are covered for AI. Okay, because whenever you come with the AI system, it's all about working with the visualization, working with the statistic, working with the analysis, and working with the computations, and the very last part will be the data pre-processing and algorithms. That's right. So the approach will be like the things requires to get started with the Python. Okay, whenever you get good or you get a good command in it, you start working on the very crucial or very exciting word of artificial intelligence. That's right. Okay, before proceeding next, if you have any difficulties, you please ask. Before proceeding next, if you have any difficulties, you please ask. Or either you tell me the segment in which you are interested, where you feel so that after a few years you will going into there. Siddhant, AK Srivastav, Akib Hussain, Akash. Hey, I want to have the discussion with each and every of you. I really wants to understand that yes, where you really wants to approach. If you have any difficulties about whatever I have discussed till here, so one reward we get from Anuka, that is the visualization. A visualization is, trust me, the best thing today we have into the market. The main reason is the data. Visualization is going to be the best because data is the crucial factor we have. Okay, the data is increasing at a very faster step, so that's why you require to have a visualization, and nowadays this is done by the Python itself. Okay, there are a few more logic. I'm not going to say that Python is only the one thing which is going to help in the visualization. There are few more ways of doing the visualization, but trust me, whenever it comes to have the simplest programming platform, Python is nowadays at the top. Python is nowadays at the top. Yes. What else you needs to, if you have any difficulties, if you have any questions, if you really want to share your views, you can please share. Other than AI, we have the technologies like data science, blockchain. These are also the growing segment. Okay. These are quite different than the AI. Okay. And yes, this is actually the future of the market, right? Previously, people were thinking to go with only the programming platform and they find it out that they get a good salary. But nowadays, the scenario is completely changed. If you have these technologies with the programming, okay, trust me, the salary will going to be very, 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 very high. Hey, anything you needs to ask? Any queries? Any difficulties? Anything you needs to share? Yeah, I get very less reply from your side. From your side. I was expecting so many questions, so many queries from your end. Fine. For further queries, you can contact Mrs. Anjali. She is the center head of Live Jammu, and that's the contact number. As well as if you want to mail, you can mail at info@livebyjammu.com. And thank you so much for giving your very precious time for this session. I hope whatever things we have discussed, you able to grab them in the nicest way, right? And further, if you find any difficulties and if you have any questions, you contact Mrs. Anjali, okay? And through Mrs. Anjali, you can contact me.